Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
It's us, Mark. We're back. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Talking Shit. My name is Brian. With me always is Mark, and your lighting is ass right now.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I mean, come on.
Did you blow a bulb?
No, I did not blow
Get it out of your mouth.
I didn't blow shit.
Jesus. You really suck at this game.
What the fuck is going on? I'm not used to this. Well,
All
anyway.
Right. While Mark gets his shit under control, we are going to be talking shit with some gentlemen from a little organization called S.A.W.
We use the word gentleman very lightly. Today, actually, we're doing something different also, too. We're broadcasting on 5 different networks.
Like Twitch?
Twitch.
Holy crap.
We got Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. So let's see which one kicks us off first.
All right, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mark, you want to introduce these guys? Whoa, there's Rotten Ronnie, Matt Thrash, Andrew Jasic, David E. Jones. You have Matt Twisted and Henry Dizon, also known as Ariel Star.
Dizon!
Henry Dizon, live and in color. This is already
Henry Dizon! I'm from the Ozarks! Wow!
Oh.
Matt Thrash, the trash talker.
What's up, Henry?
What's up, Henry? Hey, guys. What's up, man?
We're all here, we're all doing it. So what do you guys want to talk about?
Yes.
Yeah.
We want to talk about Matt Twisted's dirty-ass beard. That's what we want to talk about.
It's a glorious beard. I like that beard.
Looks like I just brushed the porch with that thing.
I was going to say, did you just sweep the floor with that or what? What's happening here? I got no room to talk. I got nothing going on. So.
I mean,
it's better my face look like this than my ass. So.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
All right.
Okay.
That's huh?
Okay. Since well,
take it away, Henry.
I tried.
Yeah, you got it, Henry. Come on.
I tried finding shit on Saw, and you know what? It's kind of hard to find.
It is. A lot of people choose to forget.
Yeah.
I found a website that Trevor made.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Oh God.
Yes.
And then I couldn't stay on it very long. I stole like 2 pictures, or not pictures, but some things off of it, and that was it because it kept trying to give me a virus.
Yep.
And
so
like,
wait. The old Saw site gave you viruses?
Yeah.
No, why?
No
Why would it ever do anything like that?
Instead of we'll bring the Saw, we'll give you a virus. We'll give you a VTD.
I guess so, but
it's a Saw transmitted disease.
Dude,
oh God.
Guys, I hate to tell you this. Unfortunately, I've reached out to Mike Rapata. Mark's reached out to Mike, and we have not gotten any response back.
No, I haven't. No, don't put my name out there. I didn't.
I think
it would have been great. Look, I'd have been cool if Mike. I wanted Mike to come.
Yeah.
I think it would have been a good, healthy debate of the validity of how great Saw was or wasn't. And Mike should have been here to defend himself.
Yeah,
because
because we're about to saw it in half. No pun intended.
Okay. He's too busy with birds. Yeah, he's too busy with birds.
I feel like once Mike saw who was going to be on the show, he was like, "Fuck this."
I think so. I think Henry nailed it right there. I think he saw that Henry Dizon is going to be on here, and he was like, "Man, fuck that shit."
Well,
that's what it is.
He's like, I don't know, Lisa.
Probably the last guy he saw out of like the 4 of us on the show right now. I might have been the last guy that he saw because I went to that intergalactic bullshit that those guys were running, and he was on the card. And
So wait,
Intergalactic.
Henry, you
We'll
went to
talk
that
about
show.
that. We'll talk
Yeah,
about
you went
that.
to that show, so you saw it.
And by the way,
saw Mike's
Locura-
grand plan.
Locura is in the comments. So in case
Oh,
anybody
nice.
wonders who John Fisher is, that's
I
Locura.
went there for Locura, actually.
Okay,
Yes.
There you go.
well, here's something that I did
Yes.
find. I went on Mike Rapata's bio, and it said that when he first started Saw, everything was good and all that, and then he wanted to change it up to where a lot of wrestlers did not like it.
It was
And then
stupid.
he closed
No
it
way.
down. Then he closed it down for like 2 years, and tried to and he restarted it about 2 years later, after he went back to Colorado to be with his daughter. And hey, if you want the invite, we can give it to you.
Yeah, come on in.
Wait a minute. Let me set the record straight.
And then,
Let me set the record straight real quick. First
Hey, look.
off,
Look,
hey,
Wow.
Sorry, guys. I almost pulled an Andy.
You forgot, huh?
aren't you glad that I sent you another one?
Yeah.
I was more out of all you guys. I was more worried about him being in here, making sure he got in here, because that was the reason why I, made it this date, because I originally had it for tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd been fucked if you changed the date and everything, and Nestor didn't show up.
We were trying to work around schedules and stuff like that. Mark has no life, so he's like, I'm free any day. Pick.
John.
Come on. I got a little bit of life. I just don't use it.
I hear that.
Just let people in, Mark. So
Let
let
everybody
me clear the air. This is what happened. This is what happened when Mike shut down. There was a show at the Wavecrest, right? Wavecrest, Wave House. What was it called?
Wave House.
Wave
House.
At Belmont Park.
At Belmont
Wave
Park.
House.
And what happened is Mike hired on this guy who was a total mark. His name was Pete Bono. And Pete Bono ran his own security business or some shit. And what happened is the main event, which I think was Matt Twisted, and who'd you fight? Twisted, do you remember?
That was SoCal crazy.
Oh man!
Okay.
Jones! I'm gonna get you.
So that was the main event, right? And then Mike was supposed to come in and like ruin the match so that it was a no contest. And I think this was for the first ever Saw title, right? I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, I don't know.
It was a big match, I remember. And what happened was this guy Franco dressed up like Mike Rapata and like wore his trunks and his mask, and he came out to break up the show. And Mike was going to sit in the crowd so that Mike could be like, yeah, it wasn't me. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And it was going to be a big conspiracy. Well, Franco got fucking held by fucking Pete Bono and his fucking security guards, who were all fucking marks as well. They held his ass physically, and Mike got pissed and ran into the ring and started pulling apart the ring. He started undoing the ropes as
while
Todd
the match is going
or as Twisted and SoCal are running and like doing their match. And then I just remember I was watching that. I'm just like, yeah, fuck this shit. And I literally grabbed my bag and walked out. That was the last thing I did with Saw.
I came into Saw after that, so I was not. People told me about it, and so there was a chunk of people that were no longer in Saw.
Yep.
And then, hi Trevor.
Trevor will know.
But everybody outside of like me and Malcolm are the only ones that came in post that incident. But Mike would talk about it all the time as if like the boys like intentionally fucked it up.
Yeah.
Sabotage the show. Yeah. And yeah, it's funny too because I remember
it's like
I'd contacted Pete Bono first before I contacted Mike Rapata because I just saw some things. I was like, hey, because he's doing his own show, like he was doing his own promotion or something, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways,
It's a one-time thing.
Yeah, well, I heard. But I heard he was doing like
minutes.
something. I heard it was like nothing, but I didn't know that at the time. I was Googling and I was like, okay, this guy does a promotion down in San Diego. Let me reach out to him. But and I told him I had already talked to like Mike Rapata, and then he like got pissed at me and he wouldn't talk to me anymore after that.
I think Todd's still the champion of that Fed. The old
longest reigning.
So
what are you going on? Like 15 years now?
Yeah, Matt Twisted has
I
the
think
longest reigning heavyweight title. Too.
And SoCal Crazy has the shortest reign.
Yes, he does.
So here's a question for you guys. And I know all you guys are going to say the same probably. And I told Matt I was going to ask this anyways. How many times did Mike Rapata put the title on himself?
Trevor,
every time he got a chance.
Yeah,
Trevor, that's you. You
Actually,
were there the entire thing.
Yeah, well, the title wasn't introduced until Andy. Andy's the one who
I brought
the title, and
I bought a title. Yeah.
Well, and that actually led to drama too.
Andy
Andy trying to help led Mike to. I actually sent this to Mark last night because he reached out about a bio of Mike's on the internet. And I said there was a point where Mike got really paranoid about Saw and thinking we were all going to take it from him. Yeah. Andy bought a title, and Andy got accused of trying to take Saw away because Andy bought a title for Saw.
There was
got mad at me for running the website. I stopped doing it. Virgil did it for the longest time.
Yeah, but see, he accused Virgil and Chris the first time around. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
And then when Andy came in, then Andy was the main culprit. I think he just got scared of people with like strong personalities.
I'm going to explain. There's a backstory to this, right? So I brought in the belt because I was like, listen, because at the time when we all knew, right around that, this is after Belmont, people weren't looking at Saw very fondly. We were kind of like jokes, you know what I mean? Like to professional wrestling standards. So I said, well, what else can we do to like make it look better? So I said, well, at least we need a belt. So I bought a belt and I gave it to Mike, and Mike said, listen, you bought the belt, you wear the belt. And I was like, okay, I'll wear the belt. So I wore the belt one time, then I lost it to Mike that day. Because I was like, listen, let's put you over. Let's because I was thinking, like, this makes sense, for the guy, But I remember, and this is, you're going to laugh at, and I want to say Brian was at this show. Malcolm might have been at the show too, but we were at a church called the First Assembly of God, the FAG Church is what it was called. And we were
Brian was there for that one.
Yeah, but that was his church. We were forgot the apostrophe with the S. Fag's church. No, there was
got free diddles.
No. So I brought in.
Nobody hit me up for that show.
I brought in
free diddles. Where's Matt Twisted?
I brought in the belt. I lost it to Mike.
Becky Thrash, ladies and gentlemen. Becky Thrash. Look at her.
Hey, Becky Thrash. Yeah. Hey. Okay. So I lost the belt. Mike had he took the belt and he raised it. He's all excited about it. Somebody took a picture of him with the belt. And Malcolm, this is Bruce Tomei took the picture. He took the picture because that was his church, So he was excited about it. He wanted to post it. He posted it on the website. As soon as it was live on the website, Mike called me. And he said, listen, everybody's going to think that I'm putting the belt on myself and all this other stuff. And then he went to this, and I had no idea about this. Now, listen, this is going to get really fucking weird. At that time, the rumor was that he did some favors from Burt Prentice to get the NWA, whatever. I don't know.
Right.
So he called me up and said, well, everybody's already thinking I'm sucking Burt Prentice's dick for the title, and I can't have that. And, so he got real mad at me about it,
Oh, shit.
And I should have known there, but I was stupid. And I didn't quit right away. But yeah, that's why he was pissed off, because he thought it was all bullshit. Favors. Yeah,
favors.
We all knew what it was. And he was like, he's a redneck. He was very, very adamant. Oh, sucking dick for the title.
Sucking dick.
Big ass dip in his mouth.
Yo, veiny dick.
What's funny is you can actually. There's a website, and I found it. Oh god, well over 10 years ago, and it just goes over a list of like all the crazy shit that's happened in wrestling. And it talks about like Sonny and all that. Well, one of the lines in there is Colorado kid Mike Rapata had oral sex with Burt Prentice to win the NWA World Title. I'm like,
who put it in there? Who did it?
It's just a well-known rumor. Real? Who knows?
Double Matt Twisted, bro.
Double Matt Twisted.
Double Matt
Jesus
Twisted.
Christ.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
it's the Obama
that was
phone.
crazy.
I feel bad that I came in right at the end of the Belmont discussion. That was a crazy day.
Yes,
that was the beginning.
Trevor, okay, throw in your 2 cents. What do you remember that day? Like, I just kind of explained like my kind of viewing of it. What was
Did
the
you
heavyweight? Like, what was the main event match in which he came in and started like taking everything down?
It
That was
started
Tom,
at
or
like it
Twisted
started the
and-
night before. The issue started the night
Yeah.
before when it was myself, Vince, and I think that was it that showed up to set the ring up at Belmont Park with Mike. And
that's
right. But here was the thing. A bunch of guys got booked at some lucha show in LA, and they got the approval from Mike to go. According to Mike, his this is just what Mike told me that night was, I told Virgil to get everybody to Belmont Park the night before to set up, and I guess Virgil didn't do that.
Yeah,
I don't know if he did. I don't know if he didn't. But only Vince and I showed up, and Vince even told me he got a call to help set up like 10 minutes before. Like just say, hey, Vince, can you go to Belmont Park now and set up the ring with Mike? Like it wasn't set up anything before.
I remember that, yeah, because he said that. He said like a bunch of these motherfuckers think that they're bigger than fucking S.A.W. or some shit, right? Yeah.
And so it was just me and Vince, and like
They superstars.
And Virgil never even called me. I was already down. I think he did call me, but I was already at Belmont Park. So that ring, whatever, we got set up. The next morning, we had KUSI News coming down to do a live shoot from the ring, to promote the show. And anybody who wasn't there to set up the ring had to sit in the seats around the ring wearing some Halloween masks.
Yes,
and the only people that got to participate in the KUSI shoot were ones who helped set up or had a valid reason why they couldn't be there.
I think I had a valid reason because I had to work that night.
So you probably were in the ring, taking the bumps from the weatherman.
That's not valid.
Yeah, I don't even think I was there for the KUSI spot. I think I came later.
But that is what started it, because after KUSI got done, Mike just berated everyone who wasn't there.
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my god!
Right.
Malcolm, were you there?
Botching a spot from the weatherman.
What's that, Henry?
I remember botching a spot from the weatherman. I was in the ring when that happened, and I remember he was giving me a back elbow, and I actually fucking phantomed it and didn't even sell it.
Good for you.
Well, you had to make Rod look with you.
I had to tell the weatherman to hit me. I had to run into a clothesline. He was just kind of holding his arm out there. I was like, "Swing it."
Yeah,
it was that one goofy bastard that did all the. He does
tie.
like the live jazz over at the Mexican
Rod Luck.
restaurant, right? Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it wasn't Luck. It wasn't Rod Luck.
No,
the
it
other
was
guy,
Dave Scott.
Dave Scott. Yes,
No,
thank you.
The tie. The bow tie.
Oh, yeah, the one with the bow tie. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
So Malcolm is in the ring, and I forget who he was wrestling, and we're down at the beach.
Hodad.
And
Dads. Yeah.
and a drunk guy. Do you remember this?
That's Hodad's, definitely.
And the drunk guy jumps up on the ring, and I swear to God, I saw Malcolm swinging for the fences on this guy.
Yeah.
I was like, "Holy shit, dude! What is going on here?"
So I had like different personas I had to play. I don't know if you guys remember the time we were at Mike's house and we did interviews, and he had me behind the curtain as the shadow.
What
I was black screen like that. I gave good interviews. You know what I'm saying? I did good interviews. So as my character, Mr. Imperfection, I would come out and berate the kids and the parent. You're not better than me. You can't get in the ring. And the kid went and told his dad. That's what that was about.
Oh,
and his dad came out.
So then he paid a homeless guy to come and bite you.
Genius.
When you think about it.
But it was just crazy, man. So I'm like, oh no, because we did Hodad's and we did the one at NTC. NTC.
No, I think that was Hodad's.
Base.
I think that was Hodad's.
But all of them were crazy, man. But the Hodad's one, that was the dad that was like, talk to my son. And I'm like, oh, well, shit, let's get down. Okay.
Yeah.
Probably in character, but at the same time, I'm telling the dad, I'm like, yo.
I think I reffed a match.
I'm doing this to get your son involved in the match.
Right.
I'm
That's
the
whole
bad
point.
guy.
Yeah.
I think I reffed a match with, I think it was Henry and Fernando. and then I think Trevor and somebody else, because Trevor told me, he was like, push me, just push me. And I think Henry dropped down to his knees and I pushed him over. Was it you or was it Fernando that I made him trip over?
Gosh, I think I wrestled both those guys that day.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That.
What's the Filipino dude that used to do the elbows, the back elbows?
Henry.
That's Henry. Bro.
That's Henry.
Henry.
It was Henry.
That's Ariel Star.
Okay, yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
He's as
It's been a
Filipino
minute, it's been a
as it
minute.
gets, bro.
Look, man, I just
That's
remember
the guy in the middle.
He used to flip backwards. I'm like, damn, he hit me hard with that elbow.
Oh, that was probably Fernando then. Henry wasn't stiff.
Might have been Fernando.
Yeah, Henry was light. Henry was.
What do you mean
Henry
Henry
was
wasn't
easy.
stiff?
Henry, the only thing Henry did was sandbag. That's it. But he was
He did
was light as a
sandbag.
feather.
What are you guys talking about? He never sandbagged me.
I know
He
because
must
he
tell
liked you.
you.
Because
Oh, he probably liked you more.
Yeah. You
I mean,
booked him
I
at New
think
Wave, bro. Of course he liked you.
I think
That's what it
I
was.
was new, so he was just giving me the business. You know,
Yeah.
that's all I could think about. But yeah,
Hodaz is fun.
I-
Those are fun shows.
Mr. Rapata, I'm just gonna say this. I had a good time with it, and it opened my eyes to what I didn't see as a kid watching wrestling. And I think he got burned a lot back in his past. That's why his mind was, well, that and probably cocaine. That's why his mind was just out of his mind, you know.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
That's just how he moved, you know.
Some of that booger sugar.
Hey, look, come on now. Come on now.
I think he grew up at that time.
Well, look, yeah, as you know, all those guys did cocaine back in the day. But
Yeah.
let's go back to Henry and his elbow whips. You know, Henry whips his elbows better than he whipped scrambled eggs at Andy's house. So
There's a story. Listen, for anybody who doesn't know, listen, there's a story behind the comment,
Andy,
and I prefer not tell it.
We're not. I don't think we should go into that one.
But I will tell it if you guys want to know.
No, not really.
It's not a fun story.
that's the After Dark
I see
episode.
the
Well-
word private chat up there, so hey.
It's a fun story for me and
Hey,
Henry.
you-
I don't know about everybody else.
You might have whipped the scrambled eggs, but you stirred the oatmeal.
That's right,
You
baby.
stirred the oatmeal.
That's right. But that was
Look at all these inside jokes. Nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Goodness,
Well,
man.
Mhm.
So we're
Going
talking
back to
about Murphy.
Hodads and getting this
Yeah.
conversation back on track.
Thanks, Trevor.
One of my biggest memories of Malcolm was it was a battle royal. I know Andy and I had got dumped out. And this is before I was doing the sailor gimmick with you.
Yeah.
And some
Young
dude just
Stone.
stands right above Andy and is just like,
I remember
"Stand up,
that guy.
soldier," and
Yeah.
is so pissed that Andy was in his whites.
He was mad.
So pissed.
Because he's in the Navy. He was in the Navy, and he got real pissed off that I was wrestling in my uniform. Now, there's a thing is that first of all, it was a stupid idea to do that. But I really blame Malcolm because he was senior to me, and he told me it was fine. He told me this is a good idea. So I was like, he's like, and he put it in perspective. He's like, listen, there's nothing in the UCMJ that says you can't do that. And I'm like, that's true.
It's the
There's
truth.
nothing there that says you can't wrestle. You can't
the
wrestle in
truth.
your whites. So I
It's
mean,
the
I'm gonna do
truth.
it. You know. But yeah, this dude was really pissed off because he was just like, I think he felt it was either stolen valor or just
Yeah.
really disrespectful.
You
Which
know,
I
Malcolm
can-
came
I can-
running
I
out
can
and was
see
just
that.
like, listen, I'm his superior. I okayed this. You know,
Yeah.
trying to calm it down. I was like,
Yeah, he was
Malcolm,
trying to,
fight
you
you.
came out and
Take
actually
care
Because
of
defended
the
it's like,
Hodads.
oh, I'm a first class petty officer, and Malcolm was like, I am too. So calm down.
we'll be okay. We'll be
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean,
the
like-
thing. You know.
I mean, you got to think about it. I don't know how many of you guys were in the military, but like when we go to, Fleet Weeks in New York or Frisco, sailors get fucked up in their uniform, be
Yeah.
fucked up.
Doing stupid ass shit. Yeah.
Look,
were
we
in New-
entertaining.
We were in New York when I was on the Kennedy, and I played freaking Ultimate Frisbee in my whites.
And look,
Yeah.
and you probably had a chief or officer playing with you too.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
good
but that was
time, good time.
that was funny. I remember that guy. He was like, he was really fucking pissed off. But the majority of the crowd loved it. You know,
Yes.
they dug it. You know, I sold like 8x10s. I think the most merch I ever sold in my life was at that fucking show. A bunch of drunk ass rednecks on the beach. It was great.
Hell yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a WCW pay-per-view. Rednecks on the Beach presents.
Rednecks on the beach.
Hey, what
Sounds like a
was the
Saul
school?
show.
What was the school we used to wrestle out of?
Perkins.
Elementary.
Elementary.
Perkins, the ones that
Oh,
The
God.
ceiling was so low that If
The
Yeah.
ceiling was this goddamn big. I swear to God.
If there
was-
were tiles flying out of the ceiling every time somebody got suplexed, I'm telling you right now. It was
And
like
then me
bend your knees.
Me and Trevor ran there once. We ran at Perkins too. We ran a
Three
New Wave
times.
show out there.
We ran 3 shows.
Was it 3 shows? What the fuck was I?
We ran out there once. We ran 3 times.
How do you not remember? We booked Jungle Boy in his first match at one of those shows.
Yes.
Was it
yes.
Perkins that we booked in that?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was, and I'll never forget that show. That was such a great show.
Yeah, see, we did. Look, I'll tell you, and I'll give Rapata his due. Me and Trevor learned a little bit, not a lot, but we learned a little bit from Saw.
Yeah,
We took some lessons and we applied it. You know, Mike has excellent ring psychology. He knows how to tell a story. He just won't let anybody be better than he is.
Yes.
That was his biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
He loves the idea of being the top-notch guy. And as soon as he sees somebody else being like good, then he gets scared. He gets nervous. He's like Hulk Hogan.
Lil Curl would tell a story of, and one of the reasons why he left Saw was during a match, Mike came out and just loosened the top rope. So he's like, "Yeah, you guys aren't allowed to use the top rope anymore." Loosened it.
See, that's insane.
Dangerous. Dangerous.
That is not safe.
But I can't remember if I told it here or not, but I remember I had to drive Adam Pierce up to a show in LA once, and he knew about Mike and all that. So he asked, he goes, "How was training with Mike?" And you guys could probably all chime in on your thoughts. I said Mike probably would have been the best trainer in Southern California, maybe California as a whole.
Yeah.
If all he did was gave a shit about his students over himself.
Yes. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. If he actually came down to training and actually trained us and showed us like, this is how you chain wrestle, this is how you do this is how you do that, and actually like put involvement into his students, oh yeah, we would all be probably a lot higher in our careers than we got to and where we were.
He was so good. He was so good. I mean, Twisted Todd, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
How many promos did we watch that guy cut just off the cuff that were just amazing?
Yeah,
that guy, he knew so much. When we first started, he was getting in the ring with us. Yeah, and Henry and Thrash could also attest to that. He was in the ring with us every week. Whatever days we were there training. Yep. We were all getting better because he was helping us because he's so good.
Yes.
And how many Todd? How many matches did you have with him where you guys called nothing in the back?
Yes.
Oh, dude. I don't know.
Probably damn near every single match, right?
But he's the reason. He's the reason why. Here's the reason why in my matches I only said, "Hey, we just talk about the start and we just talk about the finish. Everything else in between we do out there."
Yeah, we figure
he's
it
the
out.
reason why I did that. 100%.
Yeah, he deserves
a lot of credit. He just needed to get his head out of his own ass.
Yeah,
because he's fucking insane.
Oh yeah,
that's the problem. Nice guy, if he wasn't fucking insane, and then he put a little bit of effort into making his ring not fucking cardboard and carpet.
Yeah,
but come on, that was Jerry Lawler's ring, bro. How do you change a classic?
Is that what it? I don't
Come on,
know.
he hasn't told you that story. He told that story everry night. He
told every night.
He worked a lot with Jerry Lawler. I don't doubt it.
He told a shitload of stories.
So Cal, you're over here very quiet. Why don't you give us one of your Mike Rapata stories?
Well,
I remember. Give us an S.A.W. story.
Give us a saw. Give us a good saw story, SoCal.
I think it was the
Come
first
get you
time I took Rapata to Mexico for the first time.
Oh, jeez.
He had never been to Mexico.
Oh God!
And I got him booked. I don't even remember who it was, but it was a show pretty deep south in Tijuana. And the whole time down there, right? He just kept telling me, "Whatever you do, SoCal, do not leave my side." Do not leave my side.
He didn't want to go on the booger sugar mission by himself.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, SoCal, don't let me buy one of them serapes, okay? I don't need any more in my house. Lisa's already mad at me, okay?
So it was we went down there, did the match, we came back, but it was it was just funny, like seeing him like being that nervous, you know. I mean, I was, you would think that somebody that did the first dropkick in China would be so comfortable with traveling internationally.
Oh God.
Right.
He did. He threw the
Ain't
first
no
dropkick in
cocaine in
China.
China though. There's no cocaine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, he wrestled mankind.
I
For
know.
fuck's sakes.
So
We
what?
watched. He would
wrestled
bring us in to
mankind.
watch
Who
his
cares?
matches with Cactus
Yeah.
Cactus Jack.
Sabu.
Sabu, Scott Hall.
Mhm.
Look,
Yeah.
even when he was WCW security, you like, man, I wrestle with this dude, you know?
Yeah.
And I actually saw Mike do a main event match on Raw against Jerry Lawler. It's like one of the first. It's like on the first season of Raw. He does the main event match against Jerry Lawler.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
I'm
but
like, holy shit, that guy trained me.
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
Oh, Henry, I'm not getting kisses from the
Hey, tell Steffi I'm waiting for them cupcakes.
Cupcakes?
What?
Cupcakes?
I don't know, something about eggs, but whatever.
Now for everybody that doesn't remember, my introduction to Saul was the angle of I was a injured person on crutches with my leg messed up, and Davy Jones comes over and disrespects me and attacks me.
Oh, that's right. I pushed you in the crutches, right?
Right, and Mike comes out to save me, and look, the
What a
crowd went bananas for this. Like,
Yeah.
like the lady was trying to call the ambulance. We was like, I'm okay. And that went on for like the first 3 weeks. You know, like I would come to the ring with Mike, and this was all at the school. I would come to the ring with Mike, and I'd be in his corner against Davy Jones and all that type of stuff. And that was my introduction. Then I started training up in Ramona with him.
Oceanside.
Oceanside. Yeah.
Damn, bro.
Oceanside.
I know all the white places look alike, but shit.
Oh, yeah.
In his backyard. His overgrown
In his backyard.
We were legit on our way up there, and I swear to God, I was like, babe, I just saw fucking Bill Goldberg at the fucking stoplight. I get to the fucking place, and I'm like, Andy, I fucking saw Bill Goldberg. Oh yeah, he lives around here. I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
You get really desensitized to it. Like once you know what, and I'll tell you, and I don't know, like if you're coming in very ignorant to the business, like you really feel like Mike is this gigantic superstar. Yeah, and like he's just talking to you, and he took, I don't know who was all in the group, but I remember going to see Nacho Libre with this guy. You know what I mean? We're just bullshitting and having fun together, And so it's just like made you think like, oh, it's not a big deal, celebrities are whatever, I know Mike Rapata, but nobody knows.
As soon as you say that out in the world, people like, oh, really? You know that guy?
Yeah.
I got crucified for saying that I trained with Mike.
Yeah. Well, because look, and I remember being in SAW and just people just shitting on me. Like shitting on me. It wasn't until we left SAW when we started getting like work and booked at other places, like really getting work. You know what I mean?
Well,
it wasn't until we
Mike's
left
fault. He would bring guys in, and 2 to 3 weeks later, they're on shows. 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, that was
when we had the max exodus after Belmont. Holy shit! I mean, half those guys that were training for less than a month were on the next show because Mike had nobody.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
People would wrestle in fucking street clothes in their tennis shoes. You know what I mean? Like he let anybody fucking do whatever the fuck they wanted. It was like the Wild West. It was backyard wrestling. It was glorified backyard wrestling. And it was embarrassing being a part of it if you had been trained by somebody who wasn't a fucking cartoon character. You know what I mean? And that's why,
but that's what he wanted, though. He wanted,
he wanted that.
Yeah.
He wanted that cartoon aspect of it, and he basically just wanted to shit all over the fucking wrestling business, which is crazy considering that Mike is, this southern fucking redneck guy. You would figure that those people would be the most protective of it. Those are the people that are talking about the territories and the glory days of fucking wrestling and shit. Those are the people that are like, yes, we have to keep kayfabe and everything else.
Yeah.
Not
like,
Mike.
Don't talk to heels. Like faces don't talk to heels. They don't drive together. Yeah.
Mike wasn't about that. Mike hated that idea. He loved the idea of wearing Halloween costumes and
family friendly.
Well, he wanted to do the wrestling equivalent of like that night's dinner thing up in LA.
Dude, so Trevor, I gotta tell you.
Medieval nights.
That's it. Yep.
I gotta tell you. I saw an episode or whatever. He posted a video of a show he did out in the Mid-South, wherever he is now, and he did the fucking Joker gimmick.
Yes,
he did the Joker gimmick.
Heath Ledger Joker. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he came out as Superman, and he looked for it. And okay, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. It fucking worked.
Yep.
I was a fucking fan.
Sure.
He wasn't wrong with his ideas.
He really wasn't.
He the first Perkins show, he had me dress up as a pirate to wrestle Pirate Dave. There was buried treasure under the ring. He had Dave, Jeff Dino, of all people, as a pirate, and I forget who the third person was. They were running around the auditorium looking for treasure. I come running out and I steal it and I start throwing it to the kids, and then we have a match because I stole his pirate treasure. I don't think I've heard a louder crowd ever.
It was the booty. You stole the booty. It was the booty. You stole the booty.
Yeah,
it gets over. I don't understand.
He knows his shit. He's not wrong. He's just crazy.
It comes at. I'll tell you what. It comes at a cost. Now it does. It comes at a cost. Nowadays, right? Nowadays, like wrestling is super whatever. Everybody knows they're on the joke, you know. But but when we came in, like when I came in 2000. When I came in, you know, it was kind of, you know, it was getting more exposed, but it wasn't necessarily as exposed. You know what I mean?
Not at all.
So you didn't do that. It was disrespectful to everybody else who told people for years that what we do is legit. You know what I mean? So yeah, it could work. It works for a short period of time, and people are very happy. You know what I mean? But then what the fuck happens when you try to go work somewhere else?
Exactly. No one.
You're attached to that stigma. Well, yeah, and that's why I was always defending it too. I was just like, well, listen, you know, the crowds are wild and they absolutely love it and everything else. Yeah, they did. You know what I mean? But then what are you doing? You're publicly shitting on the fucking business that you think that you love so much. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
That was the problem with Mike. He didn't care.
Henry, you gotta give us a good story, man. Come on. It's your turn.
I mean, when you guys say Perkins and Saw, all I can think about is a fucking cat and mouse match.
Oh,
that's right. I want to say I was there for that.
Tell it, Henry. Henry.
I want to hear this.
I think Mike was the cat for some weird fucking reason, and I remember
meow.
Yeah, right. He had a safety pin. He used a safety pin to clip the tail to his trunks, and I remember it like snapped off mid-match, and he did a butt bump when he got back. Well, he got backstage, like he was touching it.
What the hell?
Yeah, that story was so good.
He's controlling the chat.
What the hell?
It was a big story.
Mike, quit controlling the chat. Everyone will know of this story.
What happened?
He touched the wrong button.
Yeah, I pressed the wrong button. But you can just see red.
Yep, there he is.
You see, he like went to go reach for his take the safety pin off, and his fingers were red, and he was bleeding out of his asshole. I was like,
that wasn't from the safety
pin.
Henry. That's definitely hemorrhoids, bro.
It might have been. I don't know.
Oh shit!
But
that's great.
Speaking of shit in Perkins Elementary, how's that backdrop on the floor from Gus?
Oh,
Todd.
Shitty.
I
Very
still remember
shitty.
Todd coming to the
shit his
bathroom.
pants.
I think I just shit my pants.
All right.
Well, it's because of that I don't eat before the match anymore. So
real shit.
Right,
real shit.
I thought,
hold on,
what harm can one slice of pizza do?
Yeah.
This greasy pizza. No, that's fine. Yeah.
All right. From each one, I want to hear one good story and one story like that you refuse to do.
What do you mean? Like
you want us to tell a story that we refuse to do?
I got one right off the top of my head.
Yeah, tell a story. Oh, I know yours. All right. Something that that they wanted you to do, but you just downright did not want to do it, but you did it anyways. You kept refusing, but you ended up doing it. I know yours, Trevor. You told us already once, but you can tell it again.
Well, there was a couple.
Well, you told us about the Rumble.
That was the Eric Cartman one. He wanted me to wear a Cartman mask. Don't spit out your beer, Tom.
Oh no!
But the one that I flat out refused was he wanted me to be Mr. Incredible.
Oh,
like
wow.
the cartoon, Mr. Incredible.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Flat out refused. But the whole reason I wore like Charger gear, I didn't want to do it. He had me wear Charger gear when I wrestled. That was all Mike's idea.
Oh shit, Blueberry.
Mm-hmm.
Blueberry.
So wearing the blue and gold or doing all that, that was all Mike. He wanted me to be like the San Diego Kid.
Okay.
Type thing.
Wow.
I went with it. I wore it. I mean, I wrestled probably every single person on this screen, maybe except for Malcolm.
No.
Wearing Charger gear and stuff. That was all Mike.
Oh, hell no, I would never have done that.
It was ridiculous. It looked fucking stupid.
It was.
It looked fucking stupid. Yeah.
I remember going to the web like right before I started training. I went to the website and I saw a picture of Trevor in his Charger gear. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
What is this? $75 a month. Fuck that shit.
Wait, you guys had to pay?
Fuck yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
I didn't pay anything.
That's right. Yeah.
I never paid.
Yeah,
Well, you never paid and you never got paid.
This is true.
That's right.
Yeah, we never
I had to
got paid.
pay.
Well, that's true.
This is true.
I had to pay too. I came in. I'm telling you, after that
you
Exodus,
paid.
like it was
paid.
run like almost like a legit school.
Yeah.
And the school itself wasn't bad, apart from the ring being a pile of shit, But we learned a little bit, and we actually did like drills, and we learned a lot of stuff, and blah blah blah. But it wasn't, the shows is where the fucking problems happen. That's when he did all this other shit.
Yes, we did. We did get paid in chicken nuggets. Who
I
said
didn't get
that?
any fucking nuggets.
Oh,
either.
yeah.
That whole
Hodads gave us burgers and beer.
Yep.
I know that.
That's
got
true. We got
beer?
burgers and beer.
The
We got
night-
burgers and
Beer
beer.
from
The
Hodads.
night that Andy and I
We
decided
literally
to
got
leave.
chicken nuggets, Malcolm, and you guys get beer. You fucking had the champagne version of Michael Potter. You
Oh, it was
fuckers.
at Hodads. It was at Hodads.
That's even better.
Yeah, it was Hodads.
Literally, the night that Andy and I chose to leave, we got paid in Chick-fil-A.
We didn't
Oh,
get paid.
that's
We
what
bought
you
our
just
own
said.
Chick-fil-A. Did they pay us in Chick-fil-A?
No, we had coupons because we wrestled in their parking lot.
Ah.
Oh God, the
No,
times.
what you get?
Who's the
Fucking Chick-fil-A.
Who's the Fallout games? Who's that?
That's Lakura. It's another different.
Bring
Yeah.
Locura in here. He was solid, wasn't he?
He's working. He's working.
We'll tell him to quit. Get the
Yeah,
fuck
there
out.
was.
I was,
I was-
wondering who was writing all those things. I was on the private chat.
I was
Hi,
fortunate
Lakura.
enough to never have. He never really approached me personally with anything. He would bring up ideas, but it was always stupid. So
And you
I
said
never.
no.
I always said no, and that was the thing, and I think that's why he ended up really not liking me too much. Like he was just like, okay, this guy kind of fights back a little bit, and But I came in with a character that really was it fit that Saw image.
Yep.
It was already a cartoon character. It was already kind of like where he needed me to be, and the major fucking problem I had with it was I told him about the character. And I was like, yeah, this is like 2 months into training, but keep in mind, I already been training and wrestled on shows before Saw, but I still was like, I can do it in a couple months whenever I'm ready. He's like, well, can you be ready this Saturday? And I'm like, no, I can't. I don't have gear. He's like, it's all right. You just wear your shoes. So I wrestled in fucking core frames and shit, dress shoes.
Right.
Yeah, but I wrestled,
throw them bitches
but I was
in.
I was at least able to wrestle against Mike, and because we had practiced together like numerous times. And Mike and I had some great matches. We ran some great stuff, and the crowd went behind it like crazy. I did make money in Saw thanks to Mike's fucking merchandise idea. He told me, and this is, and I passed this down to Mr. Impressive at SoCal Pro, where I ran away from a match or something like that, and everybody chanted "Chicken" at me. They called me Chicken Jones. That was like the crowd loved to call me Chicken Jones. They would chant it. And Mike said, "Listen, you need to get some papers, print your superimpose your face on a body of a chicken, and then at intermission, I'm going to go out and I'm going to sell them like it's my merchandise. And like, hey, Chicken Jones really hates these papers. They're only 50 cents and blah, blah, blah. 50 cents for each fucking little, it was a quarter sheet of an 11 or 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And he came back after intermission and he handed me a wad of cash. He's like, that's how you sell merchandise. Holy shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good lesson.
Yep.
It was a great lesson. It's fantastic. I'm telling you, he's smart. He didn't give a shit about the business. That was the fucking problem, you know. But he was smart.
He knew how to take people's money, and that's what you need to do.
He's
That's
a
what you
carny.
need to know when you're a wrestler. Yes, you need to know how to take people's money.
He's a real legit carny. That's who he is, you know.
I still remember talking to Steve Carino because they teamed up in what's it called, in China and Japan, and I was talking to Carino, and I just still remember Carino. What was his thing about birds?
Yeah. He had a weird thing with birds.
But Carino had nothing but great things to say about him, like in ring and all that. Like Mike, you couldn't touch that guy. He was great.
Yeah.
With his birds.
Jameson
Stafford. I haven't seen that name in years.
Jason Sensation.
Look at him fucking driving, breaking traffic
Oh,
laws.
boy.
What an asshole. Wearing a tank top.
Can you guys even hear me right now?
Yeah.
What?
Traffic around you, bastard.
All right, cool. I just want to make. What's up, guys? How are you?
What's up, bro?
Wow.
Hey,
Yeah.
you know, piggybacking off of Andy's discussion about merch, I remember the last Belmont show. Chris, Amazing Web, got a t-shirt page, sold all of them. Mike wanted all of the money.
Really?
Wow.
Oh, I remember that.
Right?
Yeah.
You know that, Matt?
I do remember that. Yeah,
Mike
that was
wanted,
like Chris almost
There you
came to
go.
blows with him. I remember.
yeah. That's why I think that's why Chris. That was Chris's, ultimatum to leave. So
Yeah, I think that was his exit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Who
God.
had the local superstar shirts? Who was that?
Mace.
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 Where the fuck is
Oh,
Mace
yeah.
at? Where's Mace and Chris and Virgil? Where are these fucking guys?
I have him on
Mace's
Facebook.
merchandise I felt like sold the most because he was just, like he had, was it his girlfriend at the time?
They were
they
making
felt-
those shirts in like his living room.
Yeah, but she
They
was
bought the
peddling
shirts
this.
because they felt bad for him because he couldn't land a suplex.
Mace
they felt
Hardy,
bad
dude.
for him.
Ouch.
Oh,
That dude probably had more. Shoot, I don't know. Maybe SoCal has a little bit more years on him, but that dude had been around probably longer than almost all of us were there. He was doing shows
And he
Oh,
took
yeah.
over.
way back in the day.
He
Yeah,
took
was-
over the product when Mike fell out.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was a true Saw original. Was Mace. Absolutely.
Yeah, Mace
he's
broke
the
in
reason
John.
why I was there. He's the one that posted on SoCal Uncensored that there was a school in Oceanside. And then when I got there, he wasn't there. I had no clue who he was for the longest time. Then he showed back up.
I
was
never
like,
met
oh,
him. I never met him until we were at one of the shows.
Mhm.
You know, that was the first time I met
Yeah,
him.
he would just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would just
Yeah.
show up.
It was, yeah. I remember he had, like, when he was younger, I don't know, I don't want to cast aspersions now, but I'm assuming it's all gone, but he used to have like a lot of acne, so he would put on a lot of makeup and stuff before he went out to the ring and like just get all that was his way of getting ready for the show, was putting on all makeup for the show. But I remember being like, and I never had a problem with Mace. I will say that I was always saying, we're not going to hold anything back. I always felt that Mace was a real disappointing wrestler. He was hard to work with. He was more stiff than he should have been at 90 pounds. He was just, it wasn't good. And I think because he wasn't good because he was training with Mike. Man, it wasn't
I don't
his
even
fault.
think he went to trainings, if I
Yeah, he
remember
never came to
correctly.
training.
Yeah.
He did. I remember he was at least at one because I remember I broke his belt when I
He's there a
lifted him
couple
up.
times.
Lifted him up for a suplex. I broke his belt, and
Yeah,
he gave me a lesson on how I should lift people up for suplexes. And I'm thinking,
He
like,
can't land a suplex.
I was just like, who the fuck is this kid telling me what to do? And again, I don't have anything wrong. There's nothing. I have nothing personally against him, but that was is the problem in fucking Saw. Hair versus shirt match.
Sorry about that one.
There
That was me. That was me. So Mace and I had a little feud in the months after Belmont. Mike had a building for like 3 months, and we ran shows every Friday or Saturday. I forget what it was.
I remember
And
the
Mace and
show-
I had a little feud where I wore a T-shirt or a jersey when I wrestled, and the was if Mace wins, he takes my shirt off, and if I win, I get to shave Mace's head. Well, I lost. I had to take my shirt off.
Ooh,
that what a stipulation!
Ooh.
But I did.
Hell
I shaved
yeah.
the checkerboard into my chest to make it look like I had really weird chest hair.
I had that naturally, so it's okay. That was.
Chad,
That wasn't. I know that. I know that at some point, because I remember. I want to say I saw that match on YouTube, but I know the one where Trevor busted his knee or
That was that
dislocated his
one.
knee. It was that one.
Yeah.
Because I remember, if you search, you can't. I think it's gone now. But if you search up worst wrestling match ever,
no way.
No, it was Worst Wrestling Match Part 2. Worst Wrestling Match Part 1 was Mace versus Kid Hollywood.
Trevor,
Hollywood.
I
Oh,
was
fuck.
just thinking about that match, and it's literally right
Is it there? You have it?
Oh,
That's Kid
no.
Hollywood.
Oh,
Oh,
beautiful.
you found it.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
So I remember Kid
We got to pull
Hollywood.
that up. I want to
had
see
a-
it.
Hold
I had a
on,
match-
Brian.
I had a match with
Brian,
Kid Hollywood.
can you pull it up on yours?
If Henry will send me, where did you find that at, Henry?
It's on YouTube. I just typed in Mace Kid Hollywood, and it's like the 10th video down or something like that.
I'll see if I can
Kid
find it.
Hollywood.
Kid Hollywood was another fucking. He was something. He was.
A lot of ideas.
You know
A lot
what?
of ideas.
He was a great dude. He was the funnest fucking guy to hang out with. I love that fucking.
Kid
dude.
Hollywood was not the
Oh, yeah.
best wrestler, but
Terrible.
he will take anything you give him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it
Power
Yeah.
bomb that motherfucker.
what's
Except
it,
for-
MASE or
Except
MACE?
except for my
MACE.
move,
No,
What did I call
MASE, I think.
MAS.
MASE, right?
Remember,
Yeah, that's
remember
in
I
the
did a
comments.
move. Remember I did a move, a lift and cutter, where I'd pick you up like this. Your back was right here, and I'd flip you up, and I'd bring you down for a cutter.
No.
I gave him one of those, and he landed on his feet.
Yeah, that was stupid.
And I fucking I was on the ground. I look up, and he's sitting there staring at me, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" that was at the Hot Monkey Love Cafe or whatever the fuck that place was called.
Wait, was that the one that was on UCSD campus?
Yes,
Holy shit.
yeah, it was fucking terrible.
Oh
I-
my
I
god,
fe-
we
you know
wrestled
what?
behind that like vegan
Bro, this is gonna be
restaurant.
stupid
Yes.
blurry, but we'll give it a hell. We'll give her a hell though. Give me 1 second. Let me see.
A lot of them are.
Pull it up. We should have
I'm
invited
working
Kid
on it.
Hollywood on the panel because he'd had some amazing stories.
Yeah.
And that dude fell off, which is unfortunate because
Who's the basement
was-
surge?
he was so much fun.
He was a lot
The
of fun.
basement surge is
Oh, yeah.
our friend John
Hi, John.
From
Oh wait, it's two
the
Johns in the chat.
podcast, The Basement Surge.
The Basement Surge. Shout out.
It's dope, dude. Yeah, it's dope. Him and his wife do that show.
Yes, they're really
Here we go.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh, beautiful. Here we go.
Let's see.
Let's watch the whole damn thing.
Zebra!
Wait a minute. What did we just say?
Zebra.
Zebra. That's the name of the
Zebra.
That's the
ref.
ref.
Who was that?
Sal.
That
Oh,
was
yeah.
Sal.
that was Angie's
Sal.
father.
Sal.
Angie was like
That was Matt
she was a
Twisted
cool
father-in-law.
she was a cool chick. She was Lady SoCal for a while.
Ah,
She
All right,
was
here
like
we go, boys.
Mrs. SoCal.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh.
oh, look at that.
That was
Textbook.
terrible.
There it is, the right sided headlock, fellas.
That's Lucha.
That's Lucha.
Oh, God, listen how hot that crowd is.
You know it's going to be a good show when you have a Ferris wheel behind you.
Wait, wasn't
We're
this?
wearing
I
the
think
beach, baby.
this was.
This
I
was
think
the
that infamous
same-
Belmont.
I think this is. I
This
think
is
the
I'm-
Belmont
I think
show.
I'm
This is the
actually on the
Belmont
outside of the ring.
This is the Fallout show, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm on the outside
Yeah.
of the ring with him right now.
How many views does this have?
6.
Oh, come on. You're being generous. It's 4.
Watch it at least twice as many times.
On here, so. Let's talk about what's going on with Mace's hair. What is going on with Mace's hair?
That's not Mace. That's Kid Hollywood.
Yeah,
That's Kid Hollywood.
No, I'm talking about Mace.
Yeah.
Well, bring it on.
Well,
Mace.
In the
So
front.
Mace-
In the front. Let's
His he had this weird ponytail thing going on all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he tried to do like the juggalo thing.
Yeah. See, that was the thing. Is Mace was a juggalo. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
God, you know what?
No,
he
nothing
looks
wrong
like,
with that.
He looks like the lead singer of fucking.
Oh,
Faith
look at
No
that.
More.
Vicious.
Look at
Oh,
just
wow.
look.
Crowd. There is a crowd here, so that's
Yeah, Belmont Park.
there is a good showing right now.
Well, the crowd was there before the show.
Yeah,
Most of that crowd is just people walking past.
That's like saying I have trees in my backyard. No, motherfucker. Those trees were there 100 years before I moved in.
Look at how many people
You see, we were in between like a snack bar and the bumper cars. So
I remember we were. It was like an alley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
yeah.
Is that Thrash on the outside?
Yeah, it is. Is that it?
That was it? What? Did somebody add music?
What is going on?
What the hell? Oh, beautiful. I'm stealing it.
Transition wasn't bad.
He trusted him enough. He trusted him enough to do that.
Shit. This is painful.
Look at that electrical tape I'm wearing.
Look at Mace's face. That's my heart right now. It's just
Why is Sal walking away?
Because Sal's probably on the Sal juice.
Because he's drunk.
He's drunk as shit.
Sal's ready.
Sal was always drunk.
So at the end of this match, I remember Mace does this like springboard 10,000. If you want to fast forward to that part of the match,
please fast forward.
Yeah, fast forward to the end.
It is.
Oh, what do you mean? It's just getting good.
It's never getting good.
This is like watching the bog. What was it? Legendary. What was it? The bog of.
By the way, I'm
He's
pretty
about
sure
to pull his whole hair out, dude.
This is like watching fucking Samurai Cop. If you guys have never seen Samurai Cop, go watch Samurai Cop. I guarantee you it's better than this horse shit.
John's right. Sal like always fucked up counts. Doesn't matter how many times you went over it with him in the back.
Yep.
I cursed at him real loud one time at a show.
Andy and I got so mad at him, and it was the night that we won the SoCal Pro titles for the first time. And because he screwed up the finish. It was against SoCal and Kid Carumba, I think it was.
Yeah.
We told him this is what's going to happen, and he still counted SoCal down for 3, despite blatantly kicking out at 2.
Yeah.
And then I just looked at him. Okay, it was so bad.
Oh, it was so bad.
John, will you get your ass in this chat, bro? Just come
He
in.
can replace me.
Yeah, come on.
By the way, I'm pretty sure that's Mace's own YouTube channel.
Really?
Crackajack?
Really?
That sounds familiar.
I think that was him. That was him.
We'll see if he has any Shining Burning Wrestling on there. No, it's not Shining Burning Wrestling. What's his Galactica Wrestling? Something like that?
Oh God, well, it's so fucking stupid.
Put it towards the end.
Yeah, why don't you how long is
Look
this?
at those pixels. Holy shit.
God.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I think I come in. And
How long was that match?
That's
9
the shot,
minutes.
fellas.
That's the money change.
That's 6 minutes too long.
What's Sal doing? Sal's just getting beat up, bro. I think I was so bored I had to beat someone up.
Oh my God! What is going on?
He's on the head.
Okay, I can wrestle better than this.
He's gonna hurt himself.
Oh, it's the shits. The drizzling shits.
Okay, go to the end.
All
Oh
right,
no!
let's get to the end. Let's get to the finish here, boys.
I
Who do you
wanna
think
say-
wins?
I
What the
want to
hell's
say that I
happening?
come in. I want to say that I come in and I slam Mace.
What is with the sound? Can we mute it?
There it is. I can't watch this match anymore.
Don't worry, Thrash. Take your time hitting him.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I couldn't have done anything in this. I could have done anything.
What the fuck, Thrash?
That's right. It's a good match home.
What an awful cadence.
Now I gotta know why, Thrash. Why?
Well,
Fucking
because
Christ.
so we were.
He did it for
we
The
were
Rock.
We were with Hollywood, we were known as the HTA, the Hollywood Talent Agency. And it was me. I was the bodyguard of Kid Hollywood, and Kid Hollywood was like this, I don't know, actor gimmick.
Sure,
I don't know. And then Franco was known as what? Richard Justice.
Dick
and
Justice.
He was the attorney. He was the attorney. What was it? Yes. Yeah, he was the attorney. He was the attorney. So yeah. It was bad.
So I don't know. I don't remember if it was that show. It might have been that show, maybe a couple of Belmont shows prior to that, but I was wrestling Chris Terry with his amazing web gimmick. And we were in the match, and mid-match, this motherfucker takes his mask off. Mid-match. He's like, I don't want to wear this shit anymore, and takes off his mask and throws it to the crowd. Not knowing that Rey Mysterio Sr. is in the crowd with Austin.
Oh.
So I'm just looking at him, I'm like, you motherfucker. You just took your fucking mask off in front of Rey Mysterio Sr.
Nobody knew any better.
I remember hitting them in the back. I was like, Chris, what the fuck? He's like, I don't give a shit about this lucha shit, man.
I don't care, man. Fuck this shit, man.
Wasn't Ray Sr. like super heated too?
Yeah, because actually the following week I was down in TJ training and he pulled me aside and he's like, Nestor, what the fuck was that?
Oh no.
You know, so I was like, I had to explain to him what had happened.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you're like, and what'd you say? Like, hey, dude, like, look, Chris is white.
I was just like, you know, fucking white people, man.
White people.
He's clearly mayonnaise. We're tahine. He's mayonnaise.
Or tahine.
Matt, you've been awful quiet this whole time.
Yeah. What the hell?
It's your turn.
Twisted.
Come on,
Matt
Twisted.
Twizzlers.
Matt Twisted. Let's go.
Me.
Oh, God.
You should tell some
Well,
Micropata Junior stories.
So, oh God, the time he fucking went off and got into a fight with Chris because he got drunk.
Yes. Tell it.
He was like, "Fuck you, you ain't doing shit." And then Chris was like, "You better calm your ass down." And then they got into it, and yeah, wasn't that exciting. But I tell you, there was a swap meet show and I missed those, like the Kobe shows. It was like every Saturday, Sunday.
Oh yeah.
I don't know where the hell Mike met these guys, but there was a dude that just showed up one day, jumped in the ring, took a huge back bump, looked like a big retarded version of Vin Diesel. And well, Thrash does a better impression of this guy when he got into the ring and decided to cut a promo on some people. If you want to continue that, Thrash.
So this motherfucker, he obviously had something wrong with him. Like I remember he came to the school one time. And if you talk to him, because I remember talking to him, like, "Hey man, so what's your wrestling name?" And everything he did was his wrestling persona. He goes, "Mr. D'Onofrio," and I'm like,
another Ultimate Warrior.
And I'm like, "Oh, that's great, man. Like what's your finisher?" And he goes, "My finisher?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "The Tamarack." Now, what's funny about the Tamarack is it was the fucking exit before Mike's fucking house on the freeway.
Yeah.
He's driving down. He's like,
"You saw the way."
The Tamarack. So, okay, this motherfucker comes to a swap meet show and he gets in the ring, and Mike's like, "Isn't he great? I'm gonna wrestle him. It's gonna be awesome." And I'm like, "I don't know, man. He doesn't. You know, everyone's telling him like, dude, he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing." As we're telling Mike this motherfucker belts as loud as he can while there's kids around the ring. Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
"My name is Mr. D'Onofrio. I rape little girls and put them in cages."
What?
Literally everyone in the back. Mike, go shut that shit down right now. Mike, get the fuck in there and shut that shit down now.
Oh my God!
I thought we were. I'm like, this is it. This is where my wrestling career ends, right here, because of this fucking milk dud looking, beat up. Fucking, you know what his head looked like? You remember those squeeze bags that you used to have back in the day, the stress bags? That's what his head looked like. Like someone just squeezed the fucking shit out of it, That's what his head looked like.
I wish I had seen.
Looked like Stretch Armstrong's elbow.
Did.
Oh,
That guy was a fucking that guy was a tartar sandwich, bro. That's what he was.
Oh, God.
Those were the days.
Yeah, dude.
That's unfortunate. Yeah,
Every
that's,
other Saturday, we'd wrestle at the swap meet at the sports arena for like 4 hours.
4 hours,
It
and
was-
we always pissed off the carpet vendor. Remember the fucking carpet vendor? Oh, you guys are driving away my business.
Oh, and the people selling cars.
Yeah, and the
The
people selling
cars got mad because everyone would hound around the ring.
So I got asked by Andy and Trevor one day. I think it was you guys. I know it was Andy. Hey, you want to meet me at the YMCA? We're gonna have a show at the church, and we want to, there's an event going on over there right now. And was it SoCal Pro Wrestling or SoCal Wrestling or something like that at the Y
church?
No, at the Y.
The Y was New Wave.
We were handing out flyers at the Y, bro.
That was the NWA, actually. That was when Dave Marquez was running the NWA. And somehow, Tommy Wilson convinced Dave to run a show in San Diego. But Tommy pretty much ran the whole thing, I guess. It made sense because Tommy was in the main. But yeah, no, it was an NWA affiliated show.
And we were trying to get people to show up to our show.
That's right.
Going to be that Sunday or something.
Yeah,
we were handing out flyers, and I don't remember what happened, but there, right towards the end, we handed out a shit ton of flyers. 2 of these fucking big mofos came out, and I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." And Andy's just talking to these guys like nothing ever happened, and they were like, "Yeah," kind of like making fun of S.A.W. and shit. But little did I know. I mean, shit. What do I know? I'm new.
We Trevor and I practiced the exact same thing when we left Saw. This is a funny story. When we started New Wave, we were coming up on our first show. We printed out thousands. I want to say it was like 3,000 flyers, and we were handing them out everywhere we could.
Balboa, Andy.
Huh? Yeah. I mean, maybe. So yeah. This is a story for another time. But I might have stole the copy machine and their toner. I'd get there like super early and print out all the flyers for free. It was great. But yeah, so
it's okay. Malcolm approved it.
Yeah, Malcolm approved it. It was all good. Yeah. What's fucked up? I don't even think he was working there at the time. How do you know about that shit? Word gets around.
Remember, I worked at Balboa first. I got
that's right.
To go there.
You got connections over there. Yeah.
He was watching you do it. He was watching you do it.
Well, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
We took a bunch of these flyers and we went to a Saw show because we knew that Saw was doing a show. So we was like, okay, we got to get these flyers out to these people. So at the show, like while the show was going on, like it was an intermission or something like that. It was like we started handing out these flyers, and at that time we left Mike. We were already pissed. Like Mike and I, we didn't agree with each other, and Mike came out and saw us doing this. The show was put on hold. He stopped the show, and he came out to us and like, "Hey, fellas, what's going on here? What you doing?" Like real condescending and shit. And he basically said like, "Don't be passing out flyers at my show, and until you leave, the show's not going to happen. I will stop all of the fucking thing." Now we were playing it off the whole time, like, "Hey, we just want to see our friends." You know what I mean? We just want to come and see our friends work. We knew what the fuck we were doing. So did Mike. He wasn't stupid. You know what I mean? But I had a wife at the time who said something to Mike, and Mike looked at me and pointed at her. He's like, "Do you own her? You tell her to keep quiet," or something like that. I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like. So I was just like, I was taken aback. That's the first time I ever felt like really threatened by Mike. You know what I mean? I felt like in his older age at the time, plus he was all hopped up on pills, I probably could have knocked him out. But I didn't want to take a chance. You know what I mean? I was like, this guy's kind of fucking scary. So then we fucking just kicked rocks.
He's
jacked.
Strong.
Yeah, he's jacked.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a scary ass fucking time because he basically said like, "I'm gonna hold the show hostage until you leave. You have to leave."
You should have just kept handing out flyers. Okay, well, I mean, if you guys want to come to your show, then it's going to run.
You want to see the show that's actually going to finish?
Like another 5 minutes.
But yeah, we did do that. I remember going to that YMCA show to hand out the Saw flyers because thank you for reminding me of that. We went there, and I remember at least one of the people on that show was the Amazing Webb, and I remember. Like I heard like somebody had keyed me in like, who is this guy? And he's like, "Oh yeah, he used to wrestle at Mike. They had a falling out and he left, And I remember hearing stories all that time. Mike was telling me like, hey, these guys fucked me over, and they try to fuck up my product. So I remember like during his match, I said, fuck you, real loud to Amazing Web, because I was trying to start beef. I was all about like defending Saw. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It just shows you how fucking stupid we were.
Yep.
Like how like we all got manipulated and like used, and it's crazy. It was like being in a fucking cult.
It's like we fell for a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This lotion really helped
know
my
what the fuck we were
metro,
selling. We were just selling shit.
No, and especially, dude, Mike would tell us stories about like having an entranceway with the dragon opening his mouth and fire breathing, all that shit.
Fucking Christ!
And we were like, yes. It was gonna,
He had all these plans and stuff. And I remember going home because I thought that this was going to turn into something really big for all of us. And I'm sitting here like, oh, we need sponsorship. And I'm like, hey, I'm going to start like sending emails to like energy drinks and shit. Yeah. And one of them was Jimmy, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, had an energy drink there for a little bit. And I emailed and I said, hey, Mike, I just want to let you know, I emailed, this company. Just give me that email, boy. I'll go ahead and talk to him because we're good friends. And I was like, then why haven't you?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Why are all these people doing the work? It's the same thing with me bringing the belt in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or anybody bringing in all these ideas, because we knew the shit was we did. We all drank the fucking Kool-Aid.
We all
died on that hill.
John. Yep.
And a lot of people. This is the problem too. This is the problem. Aside from, let's see. So me, Thrash, everybody here on this panel, with the exception of Malcolm. Malcolm didn't work anymore. But everybody on this panel went on to fucking work other places, and we did fairly well, like way more successful than we ever were at Saw. You know what I mean? But a lot of people stayed behind because of their loyalty, and they never got fucking booked anywhere else unless they made their own company. So that's the, and not casting dispersions. That's Mace, that's Jebediah, that's I don't know, Kid Hollywood might fall into that. Locura, dude, Locura, when he started working other places, Mike found out about that, and Mike sent fucking fat ass cunt fag motherfucking Jebediah to go and take pictures of him working other places and report back to Mike. Like this fucking bitch of a human being. I didn't hate anybody at Saw, but I hated that motherfucker. I hated him. If he died in a fiery car wreck, I wouldn't care. But he sent him to go take. He went to go ahead and take pictures and shit of LaCroix working other places to report it back to Mike. Because he was like paranoid that we were all like in this weird conspiracy.
It was also because Locura was doing that crash test dummy character for Mike. Yeah. Mike didn't want Locura doing that gimmick.
Oh
elsewhere.
Shit! I remember that.
Even though it wasn't Mike's idea, Mike didn't want people doing those characters elsewhere. That was his biggest beef.
God, that's right. Yeah, when Locura was, what was it? It was like the crash test.
The crash test dummy.
Yeah. Oh my God, I remember that.
Real original.
Yeah. So, speaking of John, because I'm pretty sure we told John this when Locura John, that is, years later. But we got booked Andy and I got booked to wrestle John at a LLII show, a lucha show that this guy Oscar was promoting in Escondido.
Oh, those shows are amazing.
Those were a lot of fun. I remember we found out that we were wrestling a Saw guy. Andy and I are like, yeah, we're gonna fuck this dude up. Yeah, we're gonna mess this dude up. It's gonna be fun. We get there and we meet him and we're shooting the shit. And he couldn't be fucking cooler. And we're like, you still gonna fuck him up? No.
I can't fuck him up. We were going in to hurt that motherfucker. We were going to hurt him. Trevor almost died off the apron.
And I almost died off the apron because I gave John a back elbow, but I laid it in and I ended up like almost like blowing out my shoulder. I lost all strength in my right hand.
You chipped it, right? Didn't you chip your elbow?
No, that was from a head.
That's when you fell. That's right.
This was I went to do a tope over the ropes inside like the Eddie Guerrero little thing. But as I leaned back to slingshot, I lost all grip strength and I fell just right on the concrete, right off the apron. That fucker sucked.
It's funny because I was
hitting concrete sucks.
So I got into Saw through Oscar, right? I didn't know anything about Saw or anything like that. It was I was very loyal to Oscar because he opened the doors for me, and he told me, he was like, hey, I got a friend who's running a school in Oceanside. I want you to go and be a part of it. Maybe you can help their guys out. I didn't even think about it. It's like, sure, yeah, why not? I remember showing up and meeting Mike. And I think that's why me and Mike had a unique relationship, because I was already working when I met him. And he pulled me aside the first night. And I remember him telling me, he goes, look, I'll let you come into my crew. Just don't influence my guys. He goes, all right, I want to keep my guys how they are. Just don't influence them. I didn't think anything of it at the time. I was like, whatever. I'm just, here. I was just only here because of Oscar, But then, as time progressed and I got more involved in SAW, and then I started meeting all of these guys that are on the panel here, and even the guys that aren't. I have to say that was probably been the best decision that I've ever made in wrestling, because I've gotten these guys here are my family. If it wouldn't have been for Oscar taking me to SAW and presenting me all of that, even with all the bullshit that Mike was hurtling at us, I wouldn't have met any of these guys. But I think that's one of the reasons why I had that unique relationship with Mike, and he never really crossed the line with me. He always showed me respect. But I think it was because of that, though. It wasn't so much. I wasn't his guy, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that makes sense. And I honestly felt the exact same way all the way up until the time I left. And I left. It wasn't like Mike said something to me and we got in a big ass fight. It really wasn't about any of that. It was that when we already told the story that night at Perkins when it was Chick-fil-A, whatever the fuck it was.
Perkins was our last
when
night.
They were talking about the alien battle royal, and this was like Mike's wife or whatever she was,
cousin.
People will say cousin,
sister cousin,
sister cousin. And she said
"Haven't you talk about alien?"
Yeah. We had look, Mike's not here, so I can say it. She had.
He's listening, bro.
Oh, well, then never mind. I can't say it. Well, I don't want to. Okay,
no,
so
you can't. Go ahead, no, fuck it, go.
She had, she was. You could tell, they're both the products of substance abuse, 100%. They both have been through the ringer. They look like a bunch of wet gloves. And I remember she had really oh man, she had a small chest, and I know that she had I know that she was saggy. So we at first we called her saggy nipples because she didn't have boobs, which then got convoluted into sipples. So when we're talking about Mike and Mike hanging around sipples, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about Lisa. Well, I thought that was Mike. I was like, oh, fuck you.
I heard you guys talking about me. God damn it!
I'll come get you soon. But she fucking, you know what? And she was a major contributor to why it was so fucked up there, because she was just talking about how great his ideas were and all this other shit, because he was providing her the blow. You know what I mean? She was all about it. He was getting money. I know he was getting money on shows. Money on shows. After the Belmont thing, I know people were paying to train because I paid to train. I know we weren't getting paid on fucking shows. Nope. I know we got paid shows to do, he was getting paid to do shows, and he would tell us all the time, we're just doing these fundraisers for all these companies or for all these schools. Bullshit. They got paid. And I remember, I think when we pulled, when Trevor and I talked to Perkins to start running there, so I had to go remember SAW, and I think the deal that they had with Mike, I want to say was Perkins got Mike got 75% of the door, and Perkins got 25 or something like that. Wow. And I told them, I can't remember what deal we worked out, but it was way better than that, but I know that Mike was making fucking money on these goddamn shows, and it pissed me off. It got irritating to the fact that, so you're not only wanting me to do all this cartoony bullshit with all this stuff that's not real wrestling, you want me to jeopardize what I feel the business should be, but also you don't want to fucking pay me any money. It was paying his bills. You know what I mean? And when it became non-profitable anymore, that's when Mike fucking stepped out of SAW. Because all he gives a shit about was the fucking money he was making on it. Because he's good, he's talented, and that's why he didn't give a shit. That's why he wanted all his wrestlers pushed down to the bottom, because he knew that there was a ceiling. He knew there was going to be an end to SAW eventually, and when the end of SAW happened, at least he looked like the best guy there. And so he would go on to do other fucking things.
Yep.
That was That's why I got real burned with Mike.
Andy, I thought you were his right hand at one point because I feel like you were doing the bookings for the wrestlers. You were pairing people and saying this is what you need to do.
Because I'll tell you, listen, I will say this unequivocally. I had the best fucking trainer growing up. I did. I had a guy who was old school. He was a bodybuilder. He fucking, he literally drew the Gold's Gym logo. This is that fucking guy. You know what I mean? Like he knew his fucking shit, and he knew everybody. He was trained by Mae Young. He's the reason you have fucking Jungle Boy and you have fucking Luchasaurus and you have fucking Miro. They all came out of this motherfucker's backyard. You know what I mean? So, and he taught me so much old school shit about the business. So when I got in, I don't know if Mike was necessarily aware of it, but yes, I definitely overstepped my place because I knew what wrestling should be. I knew what the fuck it was. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't this. And I even told Mike, I was like, listen, I don't want to be a cartoon character. And that was like the last conversation I think I had with him was right before that fucking last show. And me and Trevor said, fuck this, we're out. But yeah, it was like that. I was very close knit because I felt like we really had a great opportunity. We trained a bunch of fucking young, hungry guys to really fucking learn their craft and shit. And Mike wasn't about that. He was about getting money as fast as humanly possible, putting people in unsafe positions and putting them there in their street clothes and letting them get all fucked up in his rinky-dink fucked up ring. Didn't put any money into the product. That ring was horrible.
That ring was terrible.
We were
Richard, I have sparkly blue thong on for you, Richard.
Oh, Shinpero's here.
Shinpei.
Well, hey guys, I gotta go. Family stuff calls.
Yeah, fuck you, Trevor.
Good talking to you guys.
on.
I
haven't seen most of you.
Is it because Virgil came in? Is that what
That's
it is?
partially it. Yes.
Yeah.
Still in Colorado.
No, I gotta go take care of some kid stuff. So,
Hey, Trev,
you guys have a great night. Thank you for having me. Great
he's in Colorado.
You all.
Okay.
And fuck Colorado.
Oh, cool. See ya.
Richard!
All right. Jameson
Hey,
Stafford's
Virgil
mic is still muted. You got to unmute your mic.
Oh, you, Jameson Stafford, is about to go out like 2 seconds again.
What is that, like 10 frames a second? Wait.
Listen,
That's like animation.
I asked if anybody was going to be on the Obama flip phone today. We found
God damn it.
There he is.
3G, baby.
Jeez.
Look, he's streaming via the Nintendo DS. Isn't it Jameson Stafford?
Unmute your mic.
I'm not trying to. Hey, I got to mute it. I don't want to step on anybody else's conversation. I hate hot mics.
You might as well. That's the only way you're going to get.
You'll be
a voice
fine.
in here.
We're all very loud-mouthy here.
Listen, we need your Saw story. Let's go.
Oh, see you,
Before
Verge.
your phone breaks up again.
Well, fuck, man. Andy already told a small portion of it. He pretty much took the reins on training me. Mike recruited me, and then Andy said, "Fuck this, I'll train you." So, fucking, I was part of the second generation, I guess, right? Like, because I know most of the guys in here were a part of that first crew, and then I came in, and it was me, and then Strings, Vic Valentine, Jalapeno, like that whole Jebediah, right? Yeah. So part of the
Pirate
second
Dave,
generation. Pirate Dave, yeah. But no, I guess I was part of that last crew that, and then it's kind of funny, like, hearing Andy just now talk about like how, he and Trevor kind of saw the writing on the wall and were like, I don't want to do what you're doing, what you want us to do anymore. It's kind of a similar situation, I think, with me and Strings. We both kind of were like, dude, like we started to see what I think you guys saw, like maybe 6 months to 8 months, maybe almost a year before we did, right?
Sure.
And it was like, yeah.
He'll be
back.
Yeah, where you going, Nestor? SoCal?
Who?
It's Nestor.
It's his middle name.
The Christmas donkey's back in here?
Hey, let me ask you a question. Iron Butterfly, how long was he in?
In the garden of freedom.
He showed up to a practice and he showed up to one show.
God.
Yeah, I'll tell you something about Iron Butterfly. See, Iron Butterfly. See, this is all like for Jason Sensation, Malcolm,
Julian.
like and maybe Nestor. The other. Oh yeah, that's right. His name is Julian. Yeah, so Henry remembers. But yeah, he was. It's funny too. This guy was. He was. I want to say he was like he was like a first class or maybe a chief in the Navy at the time. He was a little bit older. He had great look. He was huge.
Oh, yeah.
And they put fucking butterfly wings on him. And he came in like a fucking butterfly. I don't know if that was his idea or not, but it was fucking stupid. And that dude was horrible, but he had the best fucking attitude. I think he was on like 4 shows. He was always over, people loved him because of his stupid gimmick, which is fine, I guess, but yeah, he wasn't there very long. I want to say like 4 shows, and 4 shows for Saw is like a month.
Yeah.
Hey, Twisted. Big Duke. Who was the guy that he hit with his jacket and cut his face?
Gus.
Come on. No, was it? I thought it was Chris.
See, I thought it was Chris too.
I remember.
I thought it was Chris too because I remember whoever he hit with the jacket. Like, I want to say it was Chris.
Was that
I wanted to beat the shit out of him? That was at Belmont.
Was that at the boxing gym?
No, it was at Belmont.
Because I know Duke was there for like one of those. Oh, okay.
So Duke was so for everybody who doesn't know, the hosts of this don't know, Duke is not somebody we reached out to. I don't think, because I don't think he has like social anymore. Maybe he does, but I haven't heard from him in years. I thought he died.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Really nice guy.
Yeah, I haven't talked to him since like MySpace.
Yeah, dude, like seriously, a long time. But he's like super short and super stout, and he had a reputation of beating the fuck out of people.
Yeah,
like he was like super stiff in the ring.
Yeah,
he had like this death metal thing going on. He's like I think he was like more of a hardcore wrestler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He wanted to be hit hard. He wanted you to take a hard one. Yeah.
He had a fork in his jacket. He would keep a fork in his jacket.
Yeah, that's right. He had a fork in his jacket.
Doing some Abby Butcher
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, it was Abdullah, dude.
I remember that. I was like, what? I'm scared of you. Automatically, I'm scared of you.
That's crazy.
That was weird. And that was the kind of people that Saw attracted.
I mean, but for what it wasn't bad. It's a learning experience.
Yes.
I know once I left Saw, I thought about doing it in Virginia and also in Colorado, but just the job I was doing at those times, I couldn't dedicate myself to doing it. So at least I knew the basics when I wanted to go into a new place, though.
I will say that people came in and they learned the bare bones of wrestling, and at least they got that. So they could go somewhere else and actually get trained by somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing, and do a fairly good job with it. Like SoCal said, all of us, we all met pretty much through Saw.
Yeah. Well, except me and you and Brian.
Well, I mean, that's like but there's a camaraderie there. That's a whole different. That's a whole different story.
Some of my friends came from Saw.
Yeah, like and there are some wrestlers that really made it out, and others that chose to stick with their loyalty. You never heard from them again, except for like that super awesome showdown thing that they did, which is like pretty much just like Saw 2.0.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
One thing that I did, like what Malcolm was saying. I mean, we all learned something from here, and one of the things that I'll always treasure with Saw and what Mike, the opportunity that Mike gave me was to actually start training guys and teaching guys, because I do remember him on more than one occasion where I would show up to his house and he would put me aside and be like, you know what, I don't feel good, or I don't want to train today, whatever, take over. Like without giving me any agenda or anything, he said just take over. So on a few occasions I remember leading training, and that was like my first go-to as far as like training guys. Like I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, honestly. I was learning as I was going. That I do credit Mike.
Fooled me.
For giving me that opportunity, which eventually evolved into getting the opportunity to train guys for Andy and Trevor and New Wave and now SoCal Pro and stuff like that. So it was really it really opened the door for me on that aspect.
Yeah, we were able to do. You know, we did New Wave.
Yep.
Basically from Saw. You know, we decided to do, and SoCal Pro. We all decided on the same night. We were literally sitting having dinner and decided like maybe we can do something like this, but make it good.
We can do something and make it better.
Where the fuck this is.
And even if you think about it, San Diego and that whole area was perfect. It was hungry for wrestling.
Yep.
Not WWF or WCW. It was hungry for wrestling,
for indies,
wrestling.
Yeah.
And even that model now, it can still flourish in other places. But San Diego just had a very uniqueness because you had the military that definitely going to bring their kids to it. You had a huge Mexican population who was into wrestling.
Yep.
You couldn't beat that. You really couldn't. He just fucked it up. That's all.
He fucked it up. He fucked it up royally. I want to say my last match I ever had at Saw was against Jason Sensation. I want to say that was the last show we did. We did it at Chick-fil-A, and I remember his friends were in the audience, and he's in the Marines and I'm in the Navy, so I went out and cut a promo about how much the Marines suck and blah blah. And like,
Dude,
but the match was good.
That's fucking wild that you say that, because I remember. So you were my first match, right, ever, and then I was your last. Yeah, you were, and then I was again your last match on the way out, and I remember like that's around the same time. I mean, you left obviously and built New Wave, and that was awesome, and that was obviously for the better. But man, one thing that I wish we got around to doing that we never got to do. You remember we were conceptualizing when I think you and Trevor had started talking about the Anchors Away tag team thing, and then obviously it didn't come into fruition until after you guys broke away. But like I remember we were talking about having like a trio where like I come in my fucking Charlies and I'm like the Marine enforcer. Like that's one thing that I was like, man, like that's something that I wish we got to do also.
And even on that, I was supposed to be the original manager, quote unquote, Anchors Away. I was going to be the chief. I was going to get a chief uniform.
CPO, baby.
That was even in there. And then we went on deployment, Brian, and then I transferred to Virginia.
Yeah. Military, man. Military.
Yeah.
But that was a thing. Yeah, we did. We came up with some great ideas that just never came to fruition. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're all better for it. All of us did well outside of it. So I'm happy about it. And look, I'll say this, because I know we're coming toward the end, and I don't want to say I don't hate Mike. I don't, and I'm disappointed in the way he conducted himself while he was there. He really, I think, did more harm than good to the scene, and he left it in rubble. And it bothers me that I think he's okay with it. It's a shame because we really
it had a great name. Stuff. It had a great name behind it, and the people that he had, and the crew that he was putting together. If you nourish that team, then it will grow. It's just. It's a shame, dude.
I said, and I took this lesson from Mike, in spite of Mike. I always tell people, like, when they were training at New Wave and stuff, say, listen, because I was the same. I had a ring in the backyard, bro. You know what I mean? I never had a building. You know what I mean? Like, we never did, like, super wildly successful shows. It was better than Saw, but still, But I always told people, like, one day you're going to get better than New Wave. And I want you to get better than New Wave. That's the whole point, is to bring people up. So they graduate from you. You know what I mean? That's the idea that's the mindset of a trainer. Yes. You need to inspire others to do better than at your level. And God bless anybody who did. There's some people who did very, very well with their careers out of New Wave. Even out of Saw. Did well kind of out of Saw. But yeah, it's unfortunate because with his intelligence, Mike could have produced a lot more.
Yeah, and I know I had good matches with Henry, because I would sell very well for his clotheslines, and Mike was like, that looks dangerous, but I'm like, I was okay landing his shots and stuff. I never got to wrestle SoCal. I wasn't ready for that level, but I know what Mike and Nestor taught us, doing the chain events, doing from the lockup to the behind the arm bar and all this.
I still kind of remember it was collar and elbow, to a headlock to.
Well, see, and look, you don't know this because Mike never told you. That is what he's talking about is the universal spot.
Yeah,
that's what Mike would teach here. It's the universal spot, and that's what we, as trainers, that's what you would do is the universal spot.
Yeah,
that's
I got to teach
you. Learn.
I'm gonna teach you right here, so you build off from that. Be it the headlock. I mean, not the headlock. From the headlock, he would hip toss you over into an arm bar. Come on, man.
I always, you know what I always likened his training to? I always likened his training to like the IKEA approach to training professional wrestlers. Like,
build it yourself.
Well, think about it, because he taught you, right? Lock up, top wrist lock to hammer lock to headlock to waist lock into the universal spot, and then you hit. It's your 7 steps, right? The 7 basic steps to a wrestling match. Once you got that, he did something for I don't know if he did this for you guys, but what he did for the second generation class is he made it dummy proof. It was like, okay, your homework is you're going to go home, you're going to come back to the next training session, and you're going to have, 3 moves that are going to go in your minor heat or minor comeback. Then you're going to have like 3 or 4 moves that go in your major heat, major comeback, and then you're going to have your finishing move. And that way, talking about your match at every show, any of you can wrestle anyone else, because all you got to do is go, okay, cool. Like, then I'm going to do this to get my heat back. I'm going to do the following 3 moves, and it became plug and play like IKEA. So and that's one thing I remember that he'd do, which at the time, because I was young and dumb, I was like, but I wouldn't want to have the same match every time. But what I didn't get is it's like he's actually trying to fucking teach you something here, because you're going to learn better shit later, but what you're really learning is telling a fucking story. And that's one thing that, looking back, I'm like, oh, now it fucking makes sense,
Yeah.
I wish it would have been that way, but we didn't get that. It was literally like I learned more in the short amount of time that I was with Andy and New Wave, because we did more stamina work. We did more of, succession chain moves and stuff like that. It was repetitive. It was, it was hammered. It was drilled into you. So you had it. So you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, that whole thing with that Jason was saying was the same thing. He taught us that whole obviously the 7 steps, and then your majors and your minors, and people translate it differently.
Yep. Right.
I think SoCal Pro does the same type of thing, but they don't call it majors and minors. They call it like big and small or something like that. But it's the same basic idea. You have a set of moves that you do in this part of the match. You have a set of moves you do in this part of the match, and everything else is talked about at the end outside of your opening and your finish. And so a 20-minute match can be the exact same thing as a 5-minute match. It won't matter, because you're going to do the exact same moves, and everything else is just BS, right? Mike was good about that. He was good at teaching people that. It's just unfortunate that he just didn't teach like anything outside of just talking about it. He never really gave critiques. He'd tell people they were good when they weren't. He would tell people it's okay to wrestle in your sneakers. It's not, or fucking. In the match we watched with Mace, and Mace had a pair of slap pants and whatever, that was his look. It is what it is. That's kind of the indie guy look. But Kid Hollywood was wearing a fucking baseball fucking shirt, and Tom Hardy pants or some bullshit, and these Doc Martin boots. What the fuck you doing? Like, you should be embarrassed to have people on your show like that. You shouldn't put that out there. And that's where Mike, again, that's why I think he was very much driven by monetary value, because he would let people do that. Yeah,
Lisa was for sure. Every time somebody would show up to the house, she'd like grab. I swear there was a book. There was a book and it had your name in it. Yep. And if you owed money, she'd come over to you and be like, "Hey, did you pay this week?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane.
Oh, fuck, right. She did do that.
Am I right?
No, you're fucking right. I didn't even realize that at the time, but you're right. She absolutely fucking did that. Wow.
Yeah,
I thought so. I was like, I know she didn't just ask me. I know that's.
Hey, yo, I got a question that you guys might. Was she really his cousin? Was that legit?
You should have been here earlier.
They had the same tooth gap, so
they did have the same tooth gap. Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak to the validity on it, and I've never had a personal problem with Lisa, so I don't want to like outside the Sipples comment. I don't want to talk too much shit. But
this show is talking shit.
That's true. But I know that I know that people were very strongly convinced that they were in fact related. It could have been. Yeah, they are. God bless them. They ain't having kids, so they ain't hurting nobody. You know what I mean? You want to fuck your cousin?
They found love.
They fell in love at the family picnic. It's okay.
It's all right in Colorado.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, exactly. Now Trevor's the Colorado kid.
He went and got him some.
He got him some. But yeah, going back to the whole I remember when I was in SoCal when I went to SoCal Pro, one of the referees there, he's now a manager. His name is Everett Scott, and his name is Steve. And I remember I chewed him out in the back for wearing white socks while he refereed. It infuriated me. What the fuck are you doing? Like, you don't give a shit about this business? Imagine my fucking heartache when people were wrestling out there in jeans and t-shirts. You know what I mean? You don't fucking do that, bro.
Yeah, or camouflage shorts and t-shirts, Well,
there you go. Same, And I'll say this: we're, me and Trevor, we wrestled in Navy uniforms. Was that acceptable either? I would argue that it's okay because underneath that we had fucking knee pads, we had singlets, and we wore wrestling boots to the fucking ring, like real wrestling boots. We had gear made for us. You know what I mean? But everybody else just came in on their street clothes and said like, "Oh, I'm a whatever the fuck wrestler," blah blah blah, and then it fucked it all up. And he was okay with it.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I fucked it up.
Yeah, you fucked it all up. Well, that's the problem. But Brian, you didn't know. That's the thing. You didn't. Nobody knew. Nobody fucking knew. And that's what Mike wanted. He wanted nobody to know. He wanted to keep everybody in the dark. That's why he was intimidated with people that came outside and had training outside. Like I said, Trevor trained up at EWF. I trained up with Rick Drayson. Nestor trained in fucking God knows where in some great lucha place,
I think in the 70s too.
I don't know. He's wrestled Rey Mysterio God knows how many fucking times by now.
He's wrestled everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the kind of people that Mike didn't want around. He wanted people that were going to be stupid enough to give him money every month for a bullshit return, and he fucked a lot of people up. And I'll say to the death, like Jalapeno is a great example, and I love this fucking kid. Great fucking guy, incredibly soft spoken. Always been nice. I never had an ill thing to say about him. He was the shittiest fucking worker in the world, but at least he tried. He went out and got a mask made. He really he listened to you. The first match he ever had with me, he was pissing his fucking pants. He was terrified because he's like, I don't know, because you always look so mean in the ring. I'm like, dude, this is what wrestling is. I'm supposed to look that way. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know it because you're used to wrestling fucking cat and mice and all this other shit. But Pirate Dave was another one. He was a good fucking guy. Had a good attitude on him. The only one I'd say, like the only one out of the bunch who I had a strong disdain for was Jebediah, because I gave that motherfucker the chance. He was the original Trevor. When I was teaming in like these lucha places because of fucking Oscar, who gave me these opportunities in LA and Mexico and shit, Jebediah was the guy who was accompanying me to the fucking to be the tag team. It wasn't until like I found out how much fucking Jebediah was a shits and he had a shitty ass attitude that I said, okay, fuck him. I'm gonna have Trevor instead. You know what I mean? He's the only one I really have a dislike for in that whole group. But everybody else, it's not their fault, bro. They were taken advantage of.
Yeah.
That's why the rest of us are still like friends. Everybody else who got out of SAW, who kind of graduated from that mindset, we're all friends because we understand what wrestling is. You know what I mean? We're in the business, or at least some of us are in the business. But everybody else who chose to stay are just like, they went down with the fucking shit, bro. They sank with the Titanic. They were the band, they were playing the fucking song.
Loyalty didn't help at that point.
Huh?
Loyalty to them at that point in time didn't help.
Look, and that's the thing. It's okay to be loyal. It really is. It's good. It's a great quality to have. If you got into training, if you started training with Mike because you wanted to be a professional wrestler, you have to know when that has to stop. I ran multiple shows to know that, like, hey, these guys are my friends, but they're not as good as they could be, and they're not necessarily great for business. So you stop booking your friends. It's the same thing when you're training. You know what I mean? Like, this trainer isn't. I've reached the limit. I have graduated. I am terminally ill from this program. I need to go better. You know, and then you graduate. That's what wrestling is. You know, there's nobody in the world who ever left me who didn't do better when they left on good terms. You know what I mean? Like Johnny Yuma is a great example. I still like this guy. Who's fucking, you know, who told me, like, hey, look, I don't feel like I need to train anymore. You know, I think I'm reached a better. Great, good for you. That's good on you. And he went on doing great things. Other people who left and they're all pissed off and like, oh well, fuck this guy or whatever. They never went anywhere. Same thing with the Saw. Same thing with the fucking Saw, except it was the opposite. Everybody who said fuck you made something of themselves. Because it's a poison you have to get rid of. That's what it is. That's the best way to wrap up Saw. It was fucking poison. But I loved it. I loved it.
All right, guys.
Taste of the business.
Listen, we asked you.
Hold
always.
on. SoCal Crazy. Why the fuck do you have a pen? Are you taking notes on us right now?
I'm writing down every single shit you guys said.
Oh, he's reporting back to Mike.
Been making me nervous this whole time.
What's Mike's phone number? I'll write it down real quick.
Oh,
That's 1-800 get you some.
Guys,
wait.
Go ahead.
One last thing. Because of my fucking terrible connectivity issues, I might have missed it, but I can't leave until I hear at least one time Todd imitate Mike's laugh.
The laugh.
There it is.
You got to do the hands too.
Yeah, you can't forget the hand movement.
Because he couldn't open his mouth. He had a fucking mouthful of dip.
Mouthful of dip.
Just going all down his face.
Oh, it was gross.
Oh yeah.
That's Southern wrestling.
Oh man.
Teach you wrestling for about 5 minutes. Spit the dip and then tell stories.
For 35 minutes, bro.
Oh,
Everybody sit right here on the edge of the ring. Let me tell y'all something. Back when I
I'll
wrestled.
tell you about that time I wrestled Cactus Jack. He had that cut on his arm. He wanted me to rip it open, and just kept going.
Big Bully Douglas. That was his favorite story. Let me tell you about Big Bully Douglas.
Thank you for attending story time.
Yeah.
Thank you for attending story time with the Colorado Kid. Now make sure you pay Lisa on the way out.
That's right. Bring money.
That was the thing. Like,
That was the original fucking wrestling seminars right there.
It was, yeah. Ahead of his time. The Colorado Kid.
Yeah. You didn't pay Mike.
Yep.
That was the great thing. Like, you didn't pay Mike, you paid Lisa. Wherever Lisa is, you pay her. Okay. Why can't I give you the fucking money?
Don't forget to give my bird a kiss on the way out.
oh shit.
Guys, this has been awesome. Thank you very, very much for everyone who has attended. For those who were here and left us a little early, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah, fuck
Thank
you,
you for
Thrash.
doing that. Thank you guys so very much. Before we let you guys go, does anybody have anything else they want to talk about?
I just want to say I love John. I
Me and-
love John. We all love Lacura. Good dude, man. Good fucking guy.
Yes.
God bless.
Me and Andy, when we wrestled for Oscar, we damn near caused a fucking riot.
We did.
Do you remember that when we beat up
Yeah.
Rudy?
Yeah. And we got, I want to say we got chased out of the building or something like that. Yep.
Well, yeah. So me and you went in there because Oscar wanted me and you to wrestle. We were both heels, and you were trying to figure out what we should do. And I was like, let's just do the Fever Poke of Doom.
Yeah,
Did that.
That's right.
He followed us back, was telling us that we're suspended. I jumped up and said, fuck you. So then we followed. It was all ad lib. Like, we just followed him out to the DJ booth. He suspended us.
Yep.
And then
People went crazy. That was, what was that? Viva La Lucha?
no, that was LLII, but that was at
Was it
Blanca's
LLII?
Fiesta Hall.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. And I remember it was huge. You know, that I mean, the people were fucking furious. It was great. Yeah.
Fuck yeah! I got punched and hit and oh god.
I wish we could find all this stuff on YouTube or something. You guys got
So do I.
these videos.
Yeah,
really do.
Yeah.
Somebody's got them. I'm telling you,
was
there's
searching.
treasures. There's treasures somewhere.
I was trying to find Brian somewhere wrestling for his brief moment, but I could not find it anywhere.
Can't find anything. No, nothing exists of it.
Well, I think there's like
Well,
an S.A.W. highlight video that Virgil did on YouTube somewhere.
I want to say I sent that to Mark.
Yeah, but that wasn't much.
Okay.
We tried playing it earlier before the show started. And
Yeah,
it was
because I was
grainy.
like, "Hey, play that for the intro. That'd be great." And then it was so grainy and so
Yeah.
it's so small, and I was like, "I don't understand what the fuck."
Well, yeah, that was back in like 2004, 2005.
Yep.
Maybe
it's a good thing that none of that shit exists.
Exactly.
Well,
all forget about
speaking of which, it not existing, Nestor, I actually recently stumbled upon footage of the triple threat match that you and I and Strings had at Perkins. So
What? Where?
it's on like my old laptop that I had from like back then. Like I fired it up. I was like, oh shit, does this still work? And I was digging through folders on it. Windows XP, old laptop, and yeah, found there's no shit. I have it on that computer, the triple threat match that we did. So I'll see if I can throw that on like a thumb drive or something. And next time I see you at a show, man, and I'm gonna give you that thumb drive so you can see that I was the drizzling shits and you really fucking saved me in that match.
Well, hold on. There's this free streaming service. I'm not sure if you're aware. It's called YouTube. You know,
That's
if
right.
you could upload that to there, we can all get a chance to watch it. There's my thumb
Send us the link.
I
Yeah,
want to
send
watch
us
it.
the link.
I definitely want to watch it.
Hey,
We absolutely want
hey
to see
Andy,
that.
ask Tomei. He might have some old stuff.
I'm sure he does. At the very least, he has pictures. I'm sure he
Yeah.
has a shitload of pictures.
Yeah.
That dude was like, he was crazy with the camera. He was filming, he was videoing, he was doing all that stuff. Yeah. I'll see if I can poke around. I can almost guarantee like some of the more hardcore people that like Love Saw will have something.
Well, let's reach out to those guys and let's try to do something else. We'll try to get together and do another.
So
We'll have a watch along. We'll have a watch along. The best of Saw.
There you go.
Oh, I'd love it.
Still
Love
waiting
it.
for that invite to Chuck E. Cheese. Goddammit!
I know we gotta go to Chuck E. Cheese. We're gonna go to Chuck E. Cheese.
Hold on.
We're gonna do Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah.
All right,
I had
guys.
fun. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you,
Here's the
Malcolm.
way.
Okay.
I love you, buddy. Thanks,
Matt
Malcolm.
Twisted. Jameson
You're great.
Stafford, aka Jason Sensation.
Oh,
From
I'm
us
sorry, I did
here
it
at
wrong.
it's this.
There it is. Fucking rip them.
Rip 'em! Rip 'em!
Oh,
We'll be
yeah.
back
From us
next week.
here at Talking
Hey,
Shit.
we'll be
Yes.
back here next week anyways. Next Thursday we start next week. We start on Thursdays for now on, except for on the July 22nd when we're going to have Tom Matthews from Friday the 13th Part 6.
Part 6.
He played Tommy
shit.
Jarvis. We'll have him.
See if he knows. See if he knows Corey Feldman, because I'm trying to get in touch
He
with
does.
Corey Feldman.
He does
Okay.
know Corey.
You need to tell him to email me because I'm trying to get Corey Feldman on my show. It's gonna be ridiculous.
I've heard some interesting stuff about him.
That's why I want him on the show. I'm
Hey,
very
guys.
aware.
Guys, for everybody that doesn't know, Andy and Thrash have a show together. It is Retro Rental Review. If you're not watching them on YouTube, you're
Yes.
missing out. The
Hey,
shit
they're
is
almost-
hysterical.
They're
Yeah.
almost at what 100 subs.
We're almost at 100 subs. We need 4 more. If you
Hey,
ask
these-
on one
I
of
know
them,
more
You
guys.
got people in here that could sub for you.
that's
I'm
right.
already
Please
on there.
please sub Retro Rental Review. Yeah, sub because we're
I'm
doing
already subbed.
I watched your review of Donkey Kong Country, and I was taking a shit while watching it.
So are we.
And
Did it
Usually
help
the
to
best
poop them
time.
out?
you know, it's one of those things where I've been done taking a shit, but I'm still on the toilet because I'm like watching.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's-
Fucking legs
that's
all
the
numb. Yeah.
That's what we're going for. Is post shit content. Yeah. No, I love it. Thank you. Thank you for that. We're doing Ninja Turtles. It's dropping on Saturday. So check out the Ninja Turtles review. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to see
Fuck
how
yeah.
you guys.
I
I
appreciate
actually-
the shout
I
out.
actually
doing the
watched
movie-
that shit in the locker room while I'm waiting.
You guys were doing the movie. You and Thrash are doing the movie first, and then you said you're doing the video game right after.
We'll do the video game after. Yeah, we're gonna film on. We're gonna film Saturday, and we're releasing Saturday. So we'll have the video game out there too. Yeah. So
that's
you're gonna love it. Oh, it's gonna be horrible.
Retro rental review.
Exactly. That's why I said
retro rental review. Yeah, subscribe. Okay. Well, thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Love you guys.
I just want to leave everybody with one little quick note.
Oh, fuck, here we go.
Don't let Henry run you over in a car with a car.
Yes. we will talk about that next time. I want to share it. It's a good story. It's a great story. Yeah.
Somebody find a fucking picture already.
Hold on,
Jesus.
I have the footage on like 3 different of my social media sites, like Facebook, Instagram, and I think like
the footage is shit, but the story is fantastic.
That's okay. Put it on here. Put it on our group that we've been chatting on.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Well, Nestor's making a note of it.
Yeah.
He's not actually. He's been playing a game this whole time. You know.
He's Candy Crushing it.
That's right.
Oh,
yeah, that's very interesting. Yeah.
Words with friends.
All right, boys. If you guys are interested in doing it again, we'll do it again. We'll
so let's see. I want to try to get more people involved this next time. See what we can do.
Let's get the old crew together. Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, thank you so very much. Thank you.
Good to see everybody.
No, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, now get the fuck out of here.
Cool. See ya.
See you guys.
Well,
Mark, did you have a good time?
I just had to crack up laughing almost the whole time listening to
that.
These guys.
Was absolutely insane. It was super awesome to have those guys from S.A.W. Yeah, I'd love to get more of the original and the second crew from S.A.W. If you're watching the show, if you're not watching the show, Mike, we're still inviting you onto the show. Talk about Saw.
I would love to talk about Saw. I'd love to talk
your
about
viewpoint.
Yes, I'd love to talk about a bunch of things with him.
Perfect.
But until then, Brian froze.
I'm not frozen.
You just were. But all right. We'll be back next Thursday.
What do we got? What do we got planned for next Thursday? You don't even have a plan for us yet.
No, I didn't have a plan at all.
That's okay.
We'll figure it out.
Fucking winging it.
I'll let everybody know, especially if the one person that I have to talk to actually pans out. I told you about her earlier.
Yes.
So if she pans out, I will be. I'm hoping to get her next Thursday or
beautiful.
At least by the end of the month.
Beautiful. All right. From us here at Talking Shit, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Have a good night.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back?